think that's it. All right. All right. I think we're here. I think we got it. We are live. We're doing this. What's up, Tom? How's it going? All right. I have to change and adjust a couple of things here. How's the audio sound? What's up, Devil Master? How's it going? Okay. Let's see here real quick. AWT, what up? We are big chillin'. We're getting ready to start working here. Do some interesting things. Jellyfin stuff. Yeah, that's what's up. What's up, Jose? It's all right. All right, well, that's good. At least it's all right. All right, let me see here. I gotta figure out how I can. Oh, you know what? So I gotta change the thumbnail on this live. I don't know what it's set to right now. Well, I'm gonna change it. It's really good to hear from all of you. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so I've got an Xbox 360 that I already took apart. It has no power, and I'm really curious to see what's going on with it. It's something I've had for some time. Okay. All right, I sent myself a thumbnail. Let me go ahead and upload this. I'm never prepared. I'm gonna try to get into this whole live stream thing like more frequently. That's the goal here, anyways. But I've kind of had some ideas, and I'm kind of trying to figure out some adjusting and things like that. All right. Can I edit the thumbnail here? Let me see. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. Go to the old downloads folder. Okay. And switch it. You know what? The thumbnail's not right. It's not correct. I have to edit it, unfortunately. Anyways, this Xbox 360 has 0 power, and I bought this sometime last year. It's been sitting in my garage. That's funny. Yeah, and this no power situations always intrigue me, especially when it comes to Xbox 360s and specifically Jasper Xbox 360s. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why are we seeing a no power situation on a 360? Why? Why is the question. All right. Thumbnail change. Did we send it over? Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did. All right, let's see. Is that the right one now? Yeah. It didn't change anything. Well, we're gonna save it anyways. All right. Do you guys watch Joey Does Tech? He's a good friend, and it didn't occur to me. I started live streaming. My goal is not to live stream at the same time as him. I think he's done, maybe. Okay, yeah, he's done. All right, cool. I didn't want to I figured if he is going to live stream, I figured I would, you know, try to pick up where he left off, if, you know, if anything. All right, we need a power brick, and I have one here, but I also need a power cable to power this power supply. So, here's the power supply. Now we need a power cable. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab one. I'm sure there's somewhere in the garage here. Hang on. I have one. You guys want to know something really funny? I have so I have the one that I need, right? But I also have another one, but it's got this on it. I have no idea where I got this from, and my camera is not focused one bit. There we go. Yeah, no, I have one of these. I'm not sure if it's European or if it's Chinese. I think this is Europe though. I need to use a filter on my mic because it's probably catching from the air conditioner next to me. All right, power cable acquired. All right, let me plug it in and we'll see what the Xbox does. European. All right. We don't have a top-down camera yet, but we will be at some point here soon. But we do have a microscope camera, which this might be the microscope cam. Let's see. Yeah, it is. You guys should be able to see the microscope now. All right, Xbox 360 time. This is Jasper, and it's rather dirty. This is the first time. You know what I should do is I should probably get the actual board out of the chassis, because I know it has no power. It absolutely does nothing. Oh, I gotta grab this screwdriver. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get this faceplate off. I would clean it first, but I don't have my air compressor here, so I can't do it. I mean, I guess I could always use like a brush or something, but I think it's missing the 3.3 volt rail. I don't know. If I can at least get this out of the housing, that'd probably be best first. I don't think it has anything to do with this power board, because I think I tried a second power board on it and it did not work. Alright, let me get this. Oh man, I didn't take all the rest of the screws out. My bad. I need a drill for this thing. Using the good old screwdriver is not very sufficient. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, so let me ask, who's excited for episode 3 of the photo frame hack video? If at all, if there's any excitement. I'm getting these screws out slowly but surely. No way. Really? What's interesting is I made a poll and I was curious to see, you know, what people would like to see, what I would kind of be interested in trying. And well, the interesting part is that you know, I made it very clear in the other videos, you know, part 1 and part 2, that I don't have any experience with really writing my own code except for like a hello world, which the only time I ever got a hello world running on a device was a 3DS, and it was my own homebrew. It was 11 years ago. I'm doing it since day one. Having someone who's never done it is interesting. Oh, okay. Gosh, dude, that's funny because like yeah, because like obviously like I know hardware stuff, right? Like I know how this stuff like mostly works, but I've never personally, like, I have zero experience finding the stuff and then penetrating the security. It's just something I've never done personally. It's interesting. All right, so we got the Xbox out. I need to get these X clamps off so we can kind of determine why the board has no power. What's up, stream? How are you? This is not going to come off easy. Oh, you know what? We got these. Trying to get the X clamps off. Yeah, I just so y'all know, part 3 is in the works, but we are kind of in between a couple of different series all at the same time. We're in between some Resurrection series, we're in between the flash drive series, and now this photo frame hacking series, which is really got me ramped up. I'm really excited for it. There's some interesting things that I found that I can't really get into right now. But yeah, I've explored, like, you know, I'm familiar with dumping an SPI ROM. If you think about it, the Xbox was formerly a box. That's true. 100% true. All right, there we go. All right, the Xbox is... Here it is. We have the motherboard. Motherboard is out. Now we gotta figure out why it doesn't turn on. So the power brick does work. We do have a known good working power supply. The power socket is good. And it just made me realize something. I don't have a thermal camera here. I do have a multimeter and I don't have a power supply, except for like this one. Like my main power supply is still at the shop, and wow, we're transitioning. So let me see if I can measure some voltages on this board and see what I can figure out here. All right, plug in power. Technically we should get power on from the eject button and or the power button board, and we don't. We get nothing, and the CPU doesn't get hot, neither does the GPU. Who needs the gaming bits? Just take the box and add a PC to it. Add a Pi in there and just call it a day. All right. I guess so. The power brick. This is the interesting thing about this Xbox. So the power brick does not turn red when it's connected to the board. So in this instance, and the power's jack on the Xbox itself is fine. There is no issues with it. And then, but the board does not turn on. The power button doesn't work. The eject button doesn't work. Yeah, the pi doesn't stack up. That's the thing. I don't know. You know, technically the Xbox 360 with a glitch chip in it, well, with RGH3, I'll say that, runs probably circles around a Raspberry Pi. I don't know 100%, can't 100% say that, but I mean, that's just probably what I'm thinking. All right, let's check voltages and see what we got. So I'm gonna plug the power supply in. It's been a while since I've worked on something like this, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a go. All right, swap it over to the old microscope. All right, microscope time. So let's check eject or ground. Excuse me. We'll check. No, that's gonna be ground. That's ground. This is not. We should have. We have nothing. And we have 5 volts here. We have 5 volts here. We have nothing here. But I think this is our 12 volt line. So I don't think it actually matters. Because I think there's some sort of enable that happens to turn 12 volts on. But there is 5 volts. We do have 5. If I feel anything heating up on the board, I'm going to use my arm to detect any heat spots. Oh, you know what? The front USB ports. No, there's no issues with the front USB ports. Sometimes on these 360s, if you have no power, sometimes as these front USB ports, if they're shorting the 5 volt line, it'll cause a problem. Let's see. What about the back? The back USB port's fine. Okay. Let's plug this in and we'll see if anything gets hot on this side of the board. I don't feel anything. Hang on. Nothing, and nothing. Now let's check our voltages here and see if I find anything, because this is part of the circuit for glitching, and there's 5 volts there, 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, a lot of 1.2s, 2 point, no, it's jumping, nothing, okay, 0.6, 0.5, 1.2, nothing, 1.2, and 0. Okay, so I think our problem is we're missing 3.3. So I don't know what creates 3.3. Is it this guy? The south bridge? Who knows? Anybody know? Is this what creates 3.3 volts? Or is it some sort of voltage regulator that I'm missing somewhere on the board? Yeah, this board, oh my god. Yeah, the HANA chip looks awful. Man, everything looks awful on this board, let's be honest. Yeah, so there's our NAND. And let's check over here and see if we get any volts. We should have a 3.3 over here too. I don't think we do though. Let's see here, 1.2, 0, 0, 0, it's jumping, basically 0. 3.6, but it's jumping. Oh, it lost. 0, 5, that, and nothing and nothing. So isn't that supposed to be ground? So my multimeter should zero out, and it's not. No, I'm getting 0.5 volts. There should be ground here somewhere. Oh yeah, this is ground. Okay, just work forwards from the connector. Well, I suppose I could do that. I just don't know what creates 3.3 on this board. I know on the Slim, there is a circuit that goes through a voltage regulator that creates the 3.3, but I'm not 100% sure where it would be at on this board, if any. What is going on over here? Oof. Yeah, alright. let me see really quick. I'm gonna look at a schematic and see if I can find which one here has 3.3 and then just inject it with one of these. I don't know if this one works. I don't know if it works at all, but we can take 5 volts and then convert it down to 3.3. And because I don't have a power supply here. What are we doing? We're working on an Xbox 360 that is no power. This thing has 0 power. All right, let me see if I can find Xbox 360 Jasper voltages. It's probably a well-known thing where the voltage is on the board, but I just don't know. Okay, yeah, power enable and ground and 12 volts. Okay. Yeah, because the board will tell the power supply to give 12 volts. It doesn't just automatically do it. All right. I really love the Slim 360. It's such a great console. All right. Da 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 da. We need some voltage. We need 3.3. 3.3. 3.3. We're not getting it anywhere. All right. Jasper 3.3. That's what we're gonna look for. Ah, here we are. All right. So, on this set of, I'm gonna call them header points, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. We should have 5 here. We have 5. Then we should have blank SDA, and then we should have 3.3 right here, which we have 1.2 volts, which is not 3.3. So this is right here. This is our 3.3 voltage rail. I'm going to unplug the power supply, and I'm going to kick on the old soldering iron, and we are going to okay, so we should have what? We should have ground here, right? Maybe not. Apparently not. But we have ground over here on this guy, so we can get a wire from it. And then we have our 5 volts here. And then we have 3.3, which is 1.2 on this board. It is low. It is too low. There's probably a reason why it's too low. I just don't know what that reason is. Probably because the board has seen better days in the past. That's my guess anyway. All right, so we got some wire here. Oh, yeah, I got my whole thing of wires. Got my whole thing. All right, cool. So we got wire. Let me see here real quick. That's what creating the 3.3 PS. Okay, hey, I'm trying to catch up on chat. That's what's creating 3.3. Xbox 360 dual PSU mod. Where to find schematics for this console? You can find homemade schematics on Google. That's where I found the schematics I was looking for. All right, we need some solder. We need some flux to make things a little bit simpler. So 5 volts dot right here. This is our 3.3, which is measuring 1.2, and we're gonna solder here too, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's go ahead and grab the old soldering iron. And we're going to go ahead and solder to our 5 volt, and right here to our 3.3. All right, cool. Now, we need a way to temporarily connect this guy. The input is this over here, I believe. That's our positive. I don't even know if this thing works. Hopefully it does. All right. We're gonna use yellow wire. I need. Are you doing RGH 1.2? Hey, if I can get this thing working, maybe. But I don't have a Pico here right now. that I can use, unfortunately. But yeah, this is, if this thing works, I don't know if this thing works. I found it on the ground. I've got some more at the shop. I just haven't did our full transition yet. Alright, there's that. This is going to be our 5-volt line. And then let's trim this wire back and connect it here, just like so. So that's our 5-volt input. Then we need to connect a ground for it to actually work. And just because world's first 360 with extra large HDMI. Oh, dude. I thought people forgot about that video. Shoot, I almost forgot about that video, low key. Oh, dude, that was such a fun project. I can't even believe it worked. 100% cannot believe it worked. That was incredible. Alright, let's connect this wire to ground. Let's shoot. We're gonna freaking just be all willy-nilly here and just, oh, y'all cannot see that at all. We're just gonna be all willy-nilly and just put a little blob. Shoot, we're gonna put it over here. All right, and we're gonna just take the wire, put it right in there. That's it. All right, cool. Now, so we have what? 5 and ground, and that ground can be our only ground for this device because it's ground for the whole device, which is kind of cool. All right, now we can take orange. We'll use orange wire. Orange wire. And yeah, if I had a power supply here, we wouldn't have to do this at all. Hopefully this thing just works. Well, actually, before I start doing anything crazy, I gotta measure and see if this thing is actually working. I don't even know if it does. Let me see. That ground hurts me. I feel you. It's a solid ground though, I promise. Alright. Let's measure the voltage. Alright. Let's plug in the board. Let me make sure the voltage is still present. Voltage is still present. That's good. It's not shorted out. All right. And on the other side, what we got? Oh, we have 3 volts, so it is working. But I want to get close to 3.3, so I'm going to try to adjust this little pot here. All right, I'm going to probe it there. Hopefully this will be sufficient. It's not. I need something slightly smaller. You can rig a desktop PS2 to it. Yeah, but this thing doesn't have any 3.3. Well, oh yeah, I could rig up 3.3 from a desktop power supply, but look at this little guy. This little guy is tiny compared to a desktop power supply. And I think this thing can do like 1 amp. Alright, so let's probe that right there. And let's adjust the voltage. So we're at 3 volts, 3.1. Oh, that's going, what is it, going up or down? 3.2, 3.3. That's it. 3.3. We're there. Lovely. We got 3.3. Okay. Now all we got to do, question is if this little buck converter can deliver sufficient enough current without browning out. Yeah, no, and I think this thing can do about 1 amp, and I don't think it's going to need more than that. No, you can rig the 12 volts, 5 volts. No, I know that. I know you can do that. It's just, I don't want to do that. I want to try to keep it original, if I can. But you can do it. I do know that. Alright, so we have 3.3 coming out of this thing, but I'm going to go ahead and unplug the power supply really quick because I don't want any voltage and things to cross paths and all sorts of stuff, even though this is my own device. Alright, let's connect our 3.3 volt wire. There we go. And we'll connect to this one. There we go. It's good enough. Okay, do we have paper towels? I can clean this up. And a little bit of alcohol. All right. Done. So, okay. This is our little 3.3 device that we wired up, 5-volt input and 3.3 out. And shoot, should we try it? Or should I just end the stream here? Just end the stream here and just call it a day. No, I'm kidding. I am joking, I promise. I don't know, we gotta find out. Does this thing freaking work? This would be sweet, huh? What does this do? Well, this Xbox has no power. And the reason why it has no power, that I think, is that it's missing 3.3 volts on its power rail. It only has 1.2. So what we did is we installed a little DC to DC buck converter that takes an input voltage of 5 volts, which you can vary. I think you can go up to 24 volts, and you can vary it to whatever output you want at like an amp or an amp and a half, which is incredible. So we took input voltage of 5 volts, and then we have an output voltage of 3.3 directly into the 3.3 volt rail. And the one ground wire serves the purpose for the entire ground. So we just have an input and an output. And then we have that little pot there that we adjusted. And yeah, this, in theory, should work. All right, so I'm gonna be a little crazy, and I'm just gonna plug in power and the power board, and we're just gonna quickly turn it on and see if it works. All right. All right, if we get lights, then we know it worked. Let's try to go up, and yeah, we see those lights turn on. Actually, to make this more dramatic, I hope, hang on. I hope this works. All right, guys, here we are. I'm gonna hold this up for you. We're gonna see if it works, and I'm gonna quickly unplug it, just in case, because we don't want it to overheat. It's gonna red ring anyways. All right. Oh, it's working. All right, let's quickly unplug it. That was the problem. We were missing 3.3. Now we returned 3.3, and now it works. All right, cool. We fixed the 360, but the interesting thing, yeah, magic smoke, yay. Yeah, I accidentally hit the eject button. The climax was awful. I'm sorry. I meant to hit the power button. You should input 12 volts and convert 3.3 just because of how much is already on the 5-volt rail. I mean, okay. Can I do that? Yes. Is that permanent solution? To be honest, permanent solution. Okay. What Lavs is saying is you could just take and daisy chain the input voltage from 12. That's fine. You technically could do that. But the power supply itself, whoop, hit myself in the face. This power supply already outputs 5 volts. It's not like there's anything on the board itself that's converting it. So I personally don't care. This is my own 360. It's not like, you know, this thing's going to sit in my garage. When it's done, it's going to sit, and I might play on it once every so often. What's going on? Electronic repairs. And, you know, like myself personally, like, it's going to work either way. 5 volts, or if I rig it off at 12. 12, yeah, this is technically a permanent solution because here's the thing. We're bypassing whatever creates 3.3, and, you know, myself personally, I don't really care finding out what creates 3.3. It would be nice. Let's be honest. If I knew exactly what created 3.3, it wouldn't, you know, it would be nice, but it technically doesn't matter because you can just, you know, do this. But obviously we want to find out what dashboard this thing's running because I'm really curious. This is a Jasper, and it's been dead in my garage for freaking forever. And so yeah, that kind of brings us to putting the heat sinks back on, hooking up a fan to it, and seeing what dashboard's on. I'll wrap it around at some point. I don't have any double-sided tape, otherwise I'd use that. Like, you know, like some capped on tape. I don't have any here. I'll probably leave this thing open until I have the stuff for it. What's going on, Chris? How are you, man? Yeah, what's up, Rusty Repairs? Chlor Slug, what's going on, guys? Yeah, no, and that's the thing, like, I personally, like, I'll probably leave this thing open for a minute, because dude, this thing's been sitting open for months. I looked at it briefly and thought, oh, I think I looked at it before and I was like, oh, it's missing 3.3, and I was like, oh, I'll fix it one day, and then just, like, the day finally came, here we are. Is it J-taggable? Dude, if this was J-taggable, I would probably cry. Not kidding. I would probably cry, because it's a Jasper. And Jaspers are wildly not J-taggable unless you have a... This is a later model Jasper, so likely not. Likely not. But the thing about Jaspers is if you could find one on a J-taggable firmware or a J-taggable dashboard, that would be incredible. Because of the time that they were released. They were released right at the J-tag fixed time. All right, cool. All right, so we got the X clamps back on. Now we need a fan. You know, we got the case. Where's the case? Here's the case. We got the case. Shoot. Let's see here. I'm gonna set this off to the side for now. And we have the 360 here. Let's put this in the case. I'm gonna connect the fan first. Yeah, I mean, technically, I'm gonna fix this up. Clean it, replace thermal paste. Like, if there's any bad caps or anything like that, you know, replace those. And the 3.3 converter, like I was mentioning, I got to get some tape to tape it down, make it look nice and work. Do you have a thermal cam? I do. I just don't have it with me, unfortunately. Let's see here. Let us see. I've got I got the HDMI cable. Okay, hang on. I gotta grab an HDMI under the desk. Okay, HDMI. So, got the HDMI cable going there. So I gotta hook up the HDMI to the Xbox, and then hopefully we should be able to see it on the capturing software. Let's see. Dude, I haven't taken a drink. I've been talking this whole time. Dude, white Gatorade Zero is like freaking liquid gold, man. All right, I think this is the microscope. Okay, yeah, that's the microscope cam. Did that work? Picotronics, what's up? Welcome. We are all big chillin' here. Big chillin'. All right, power board's hooked up. I'm thinking I'm gonna go grab an Xbox 360 controller, because in the case that this thing works, we want to be able to navigate and see what's up. All right, give me one momento. Un momento. Okay, I have a slight problem. The controller that I have is a Rock Candy third-party controller. And unless I can find a micro USB cable we are low-key kind of screwed. Okay. Let me see if I can find one. Micro USB. Micro USB is not present right this moment. I don't know why. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sorry, missed the beginning. What are we doing with the 360? We are fixing no power because the 3.3 volt rail was dead. We don't know what creates 3.3. There's probably a 3.3 probably homemade schematic online somewhere. I wasn't up for the task of trying to find it. I'd rather just create my own 3.3 volt rail, and that's what we did. We took a DC to DC buck converter. We put an input voltage of 5 volts, and then we got an output of 3.3, and then just connected it right to the 3.3 volt rail, and it brought the Xbox back to life, but we don't know if it red rings or anything like that yet. This is a Jasper, and we're about to plug it in, find out if it works completely. We just know that it turns on. And interestingly enough, I have a hard drive. So we're gonna plug the hard drive into it too and see what we can figure out with this Xbox, because I am incredibly intrigued. It's a mystery, complete mystery. I bought this thing broken, used a while back, and Xbox 360s are just so interesting. I love these consoles, man. They're such a nostalgic game console. All right, Xbox 360 HDMI is plugged in. Time for the power brick. Okay, we gotta disconnect. The power supply is all wrapped up because I wrapped it up. This is not coming out. There we go. All right, power supply time. Power supply plugged in. All right, let's switch the HDMI. Good switch. Oh, shoot. Have you guys been looking at nothing this entire time? No, that's incorrect. Why is the TV not turning on? All right, let's switch back. Is that HDMI no signal or buffering? Oh, crap. Hang on, let me figure this out. Why don't we have... Oh, I disconnected the wrong HDMI. That's why I feel dumb. Is it working now? Come on, picture. Come on, picture. Oh! That's all messed up. Is it still messed up? Yeah, it's all messed up. Hang on. Oh, that's what happened. Oh my God. One bad pin. Oh, is it still? No, it's still messed up. Why are you all green? Because HDMI problems. That's why. Wait, which one is? Okay. Are we still green? We're not green. Gotta love live streams. It's true, dude. Completely facts. All right. All right. Now, we have to connect the 360. So, let's go ahead and switch HDMI over to the microscope, and then we're going to switch that to the game console, because I just want to double check and make sure it's all correct. Okay, fam. Here we go. Xbox is turning on. We should see it in a second. Okay. It's on. It's booting. Oh my gosh, it's working. It's freaking working. We did it. All right, hang on, hang on. We gotta see it. So obviously this is not JTAGable. Obviously, for obvious reasons. Not a JTAG. All right. So I need a micro USB cable. I might have one in my backpack. I will be right back. Dude, I can't believe we got it. Freaking sweet, dude. Okay, I'm back. We have a micro USB cable. Amazing. Okay, let's plug it in to the controller and see if it works. I hope this cable's not too fat, dude. It's like too fat on the end. I might have to like take a knife to it. God, this is so annoying. All right, hang on. How's the hardware hacking going on the Sony? Dude, you know what's funny is this photo frame video has. All right, let me give you a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of background. Oh, this is green chase. Wait. Oh no, never mind. I'm sorry. My YouTube is totally behind. Okay, never mind. We're still looking at the 360. All right, let's gather some information. So it was back in January of this year. I saw the photo frame at Goodwill, which is it's like a resale shop, or like, you know, just like reselling old goods or whatever, you know, donations, basically reselling donated stuff. Well, anyway, I saw it and I thought, oh, you know what would be interesting? I was gonna do it just for fun because I wanted to figure out if I could do it. And I was like, oh, that might make a good video. But I was like, but I want to give the people what they want. If they don't want to see it, like, we don't have to do that, you know? That was my thought. But at the same time, I made the poll on Facebook, and you guys all said yes. You guys want to see me struggle. So I was like, okay. No, I'm joking. It's not the struggle. You guys wanted to see me do it. You know, you guys believed in me, and I was like, dang, man, that's freaking sweet, you know? And the amount of like love and support that I've received on the video is incredible. Like the cult following that this video series has developed is just amazing. So yeah, no, so it's going well. We're working on part 3 right now. I can't go into it because I don't want to spoil everything, obviously. But yeah, I mean, things are working. Okay, so I think this is going to be enough to plug this controller in. I think. Yes, freaking yes, we got it. All right, I don't know what to show and what not to show on here, but we will take a look. Oh wow, so this is this might be a 256 gig Jasper. Yo mama, this obviously I've never opened up this Xbox 360, or when I opened it, I haven't fixed it until today, so, and I have not looked at these hard drives until now, so we get to go ahead and see what's on these. Okay, I don't know, let's see here, I don't know if we can see like date of or anything like that. Wow, man. So okay, so BioShock Infinite. You know, I used to be a somewhat of a small time fan of BioShock. Cabela's. You know, growing up when I was a kid, loved Cabela's Dangerous Hunts on the PS2. Absolutely awesome game. Dead Island, fantastic game. I need to play this again. I need to get this on like PS3. How is that even possible on digital signal like HDMI? Pop art stream. I don't know. Honestly, if you're talking about the green screen, I'm not sure. Esports, Argon, never played that. I played Facebook before. Gears of War, never played. Hulu, Last FM, Legos Dimensions, never played. Madden, you know, I'm not really a sports guy. But, you know, I did get a chance to play 2K the other day on the PS5, and it's actually not a bad game. Minecraft, absolutely banger game. Modern Warfare, banger game. Mortal Kombat, okay. NBA, 2K, this is pretty cool. NHL is actually a game I can get behind and play. Plants vs. Zombies, Resident Evil 6. Are these games good? I don't know. Sega Bass Fishing. Guys, do you guys recommend Sega Bass Fishing? Let me know, because I'll give it a go. The Walking Dead. I think that's like a storytelling game. The dashboard. Zune. Dude, there's Zune stuff on here? Wow, someone had a Zune. That's incredible. I would go into this. I just don't know if because I haven't used a 360 in a long time. I don't know if it's going to show weird stuff. I don't want to do that on live stream. I doubt it, but curious to see what else. Battlefield 3. Haven't played Battlefield in a long time, but a banger game. BioShock. I want to get back into this game. It is a banger. BioShock Infinite, probably amazing. System items, system cache. Okay. So we found some interesting things. Let's see. Do we have any games on here? Okay. We do have a couple. Does it launch? I don't have the disk drive plugged in, so will it work? Well, it's booting. Okay, hang on. Let's go grab the disk drive. I don't know if there's anything in it because I haven't been able to power up this 360. Let me. Oh, you know what? I think it's right next to me. It is. Okay, perfect. And then we have the cables. Oh yeah, Sega Bass Fishing. We can play this. All right, I'm not gonna play it. If it begins a call following, sure, I'll give it a go. All right, I'm gonna power this thing down real quick, and we're gonna install the disk drive, because if I try to do it while it's on, it's just gonna reboot anyway. Hopefully we do get a free game, dude. That would be freaking sweet. Hopefully this thing died with a game in it. And I hope that game is Call of Duty World at War, because that is my favorite game of all time, period. End of sentence. No one can fight me on that, because that is the best game in the entire universe. Okay. Alright. Let's plug in the power. Plug in the SATA cable. And let's turn it back on. It doesn't sound like there's anything in there. I'm gonna try to eject it anyways. Eject. Come on. Nope, no free game. We did not get lucky today, unfortunately. But the question is, does it read a game? I'm actually really curious about this myself. So what we can try, I do have a copy of Call of Duty World at War for the Xbox 360. It's in my backpack, so I'm gonna go grab that real quick. All right, people, I have returned. Take care, Tom. Enjoyed hanging out with you, man. All right, here's my really scratched up copy of World at War. If it can read this, it can read anything. All right, let's put it in. Close it up. Oh, we didn't even see what dashboard this thing is on. This is on... That's not it. Yes. Oh wow, 17,349. That's not super current, but not super not current. JFix. Wondering if you saw my email. That's a good question. Send me another email just in case, because I may not have seen it. It's not reading. No, I'm not gonna sleep on that. Oh, we're getting the open tray error. Man, that sucks. Oh, no power and the disk drive doesn't work. It's like, oh well, thanks. Dude, send me an email now. Well, you got me. Shoot, dude. My mailbox might be full. That's probably what my problem is. Is the tray gonna open for me or nah? Done. All right, let me see. Well, I'll tell you one thing. My email is full. And that's because freaking I don't pay for Google storage because I got a freaking NAS, man. If the disk drive doesn't read a disk, probably dirty laser. Could be, or it could be a faulty laser, or it could be out of adjustment. I mean, it could be like 100 billion different things. Knowing this 360 that I'm working on, likely it probably is a dirty laser. But, I mean, being the age of it, it's a 16D2S. And, yeah. Anyway, okay, let's see here. I need to go into the Photos app and delete stuff because my account is too full. see. Oh, okay, dude. Oh, wow. Okay, I did see this email. I just completely forgot to message you back. I am sorry, dude. All right, hang on. Can you send me another link to your Discord, please? That would be fantastic. What's up, Ace? How are you, man? We just fixed an Xbox 360. And this thing, this thing had no power. I bought it, I bought it sometime last year, and it's been sitting in my garage for probably 6 to 8 months. I got it from a guy off Facebook Marketplace. I bought like 4 or 5 360s from him, and I have fixed most of them. Yeah, Jay, please send me the, if you can you email me that link again? Because I would love to join. Dude, if I can contribute anything, or if I can just be a taker, I don't want to be ever a taker, but in the instance that you guys have something awesome to share, you know, I don't mind, you know, telling some people about it. No real value, but fun to fix. Yeah, and that's the thing. The 360 obviously isn't, there's so many of them, right? Like, but this is the way that I think about things. At this point in my life, I'm 28. It's not that I have disposable income, because I really don't. But I just know in 20 to 30 years from now, the cost of things, because of nostalgia and stuff, the cost of things are just going to go up. And, you know, I want to try to repair as many of these and try to hoard as many as I can for myself. Like, I'm not trying to hoard, like, you know, I'm not trying to be like a hoarder, but like, you know, 5 to 10 of each console. That way, you know, I have a good collection for myself, and that's it. You know, there's plenty of them to go around anyways. And like, dude, there's a guy that's by my house that he sells them for about $25 a piece. So I'm like, okay, and they're broken, untested. You know, it's just like you know. Sometimes you can find them for way cheaper than that. It just depends. But I have a guy that consistently sells them, and I've been buying them from him. So, yeah, exactly. And I can do an RGH to this one if I want. That's something I'll probably do at some point. Thanks. I'm gonna pronounce it Yuxo. I don't know. I'm sorry. I tried though. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. You sell a lot of 360s, huh? You could never have enough money. I feel you. Yeah, you know, yeah. Oh, okay. Worms, listen, I don't have it with me. I do have one, but it's a Seek Thermal Pro. That's what it's called. But there's a couple of options that you can go with. Like, the Seek Thermal Pro is a little bit more expensive, but it's kind of an all-in-one camera. Okay, cool. Thank you. Send me a Discord link. I'm gonna... Oh, it's YouTube Fixers. What is your YouTube channel? Okay, hang on. I'm just... Yes. All right, cool. Yeah. Don't share that link, please. Yeah, so Seek Thermal Pro is the camera that I use. And I like the, what is it called? The P2 Pro. That's a fantastic camera, but you do need a cell phone to hook it up to. So like an iPhone or an Android phone. What I would recommend is if you're going to go with a P2 Pro, you would want at least like a Galaxy S21 at least to have a really, really good like response time with the camera. So I have it currently hooked up with an S8, and it works really well. but it's not great on the S8. It's better on the S21. Man, I was really hoping this laser would work. Can I see yours though? Maybe on another stream. Yeah, dude, of course. If I can remember to bring it home from the shop, I definitely will. Yeah, P2 Pro, you can't have it. You can't have it on PC. What other consoles can I repair? To be honest, a lot. I can repair a lot of consoles. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so allegedly this game does not work. Can you repair switches? Yes. But it depends on what's wrong with it. You know what I mean? That's what it depends on. You know, because not everything can be fixed. There are things that can be, there are things that can't. You know, that's the whole shtick about repair, is that sometimes things are not worth fixing, but sometimes things are worth fixing. It just depends. Have I done an APU NAND swap? Well, I'll tell you this. I have successfully reballed about 3 or 4 APUs that were in relation to the blue screen of death. I've done about 3 or 4 of them. Whenever I have tried to do an APU NAND and piracy chip swap, it has never worked for me. I've never been successful with that. But guarantee 100% I've tried it like at least 4 or 5 times, and I've spent hours and hours and hours of my time. It's not worth it, dude. At the end of the day, it's like, for what? You can sell a Switch for $100. It's like, bruh, it's not worth it. Not at all, dude. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, I feel like when it comes down to it, if it's a blue screen of death Switch and you've got the customer, for instance, if you're working on it for someone and they have data on it that they want to get back, okay, sure. You know, go ahead and do your data recovery. You know, that's important. You know, you can make some money. But at the end of the day, like, if you're just doing it just to fix somebody's stuff, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth the time. It's fun though. Like, if do you have spare time? Let me ask that. Do you have spare time and you just want to just like torture yourself? That's what you do. You try to reball the APU and transfer all the stuff over to a new board. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know who Andy is. Like, even the Nintendo Switch mod chips, like installing those, you know, I know there are some people that charge this, they charge that to do it, and it's like, low-key, like, installing a Switch mod chip isn't hard at all. I mean, it's, you know, it takes practice. Like, it's, you know, it's a small solder joints, but, like, you know, knew this guy Andy. Oh, I have no idea who Andy is, man. I'm missing the joke. I don't get it. Oh man. All right, you guys want to see what's on this other hard drive? I got so I got this 360 working, right? But the I've got another 360 that does work, but the disk drive doesn't work. We're not going to look at it, but there's a hard drive that Andy is, oh. That's funny. I got another hard drive that was wrapped in like painter's tape, so I'm really curious to see if there's anything on it, if it even works. All right, let's boot this off. We're gonna go grab the different hard drive. Dude, this freaking hard drive was wrapped in like painter's tape, like I said. Like, this painter's tape's been on here for years, man. Like, hang on, you have to see this. Is the camera on? Is the camera on, dude? Oh, dude, it's probably not on. All right. Well, I'll show it to you guys after. Hang on. Camera's not on. Come on, camera, turn on. Oh, I think it went into standby mode or something. Come on, camera. You know what to do. No, that's plugged in. That's plugged in. Nice. My one camera's not working. All right, whatever. Let's plug in the 360 and see if this hard drive works. I can feel it spinning up. Oh, the camera came on. The camera came on. All right, so let's get this switched over now. All right, she booting. She is booting. All right, we got the controller, and the hard drive is clack-a-lackin', peeps. It's clack-a-lackin'. It's doing its thing. Doing its thing. Come on, Xbox. Man, it takes forever to boot, man. It's like forever. This is like we're sitting here. We're just big chilling. Everybody. We're all waiting on you, hard drive. It's a Hitachi, so you know it's probably bad. On the way to the airport. Nice. Nice. Come on, hard drive. You got this. Yeah. Need SSD is an understatement. Wow, this is. I don't think this hard drive is. I don't think this hard drive's any good. It's clicking. Hang on, let me see if I can get this painter's tape off and see what kind of hard drive it is. I can see Hitachi, but I don't know what type. Hitachi. What do we got? This is a 5400 RPM, 60 gigabyte Hitachi drive. Oh, it finally went through. No freaking way. Wow. So it's got some memories on here. Man, we get to see this for the first time. All right. Wow, this thing's full, dude. Holy crap. GTA 5, baby. Come on. Come on, let's go. All I gotta get is the install or the regular disc, man, and I'm freaking big chilling. Alright. HBO Now. Okay. Hulu Plus, Internet Explorer, Lucas Oil. Okay. Motor Trend. This was definitely a dude's 360 for sure. Netflix, Pluto, Saints Row the Third, complete banger game. Tomb Raider, Weather Nation, Dashboard, YouTube. That's it. So Defiance, never played it. Crackle, used to spend a lot of time on here when I was a youngin. Okay. What else we got? Demos. We got some demos. Oh, we have a Forza Horizon 2 demo. Come on. We got the Daddy profile. Come on. Sky Christian, Sky Daddy, Baby Gang 13, and Anthea. Interesting. Themes. We have some themes. We have the McDonald's breakfast theme. That's incredible. What the frick is this? That's interesting. System items. What else we got? Cloud storage, cache. Interesting stuff. I was just always curious about some of this stuff. All right, that's the extent of this hard drive. Let's see if there's any. My games. Defiance. Oh wow. Demo. Oh, we have disc 2. Can we play it? Oh, we have to insert it. Okay. Saints Row the Third. Oh, so it's installed to the hard drive. That's what it is. Okay. It's installed to the hard drive, but it's not like playable offhand. Tomb Raider probably installed to the. Yep. This one. But I bet the demo works. The demo works. Does it boot? Is the GPU on this 360 still good? Yeah, no, it probably is. It's a Jasper. Of course it's going to be good. You know, you can't expect much from an Xbox 360. But like what you can expect is the GPU on a Jasper to work. You want to know something funny, and I've said this for years, just not online. But it's like, if you have a Jasper that has no power, or you have a Jasper that red ringed, you have a serious problem. Because the Jasper Xbox 360 is literally a freaking tank, dude. It is the tank of Xbox 360s. Like, it's way, way better than the Slim, 100%. Amazing. This demo freaking works. Okay, cool. Take care, Pico. Adios. Dude, I can't believe it. We found a permanent solution. This Xbox works. All we had to do was just rig the 3.3 volt rail and it worked. Oh my god, dude. It's so funny. It's like, it was like, all right, we can get this. I remember one time we had this 360 Slim, and I remember taking the power supply. That's the problem. It doesn't have 3.3. So we inject 3.3 with the power supply, and I'm able to turn on the Xbox, you know, with the power supply, and then, you know, inject 3.3 into the rail, and it freaking worked. And I'm like, okay, so we just need to. One time when I was younger, I had taken a bunch of diodes, and because there's voltage drop on diodes, and I had like a straight line of diodes going over from the 5 volt rail to the 3.3, and that worked too to fix it. Absolutely wild, man. Completely wild. All right. Man, what a day, dude. That was freaking fun. All right. Let's see. Does it switch over to the camera? Is the camera going to not work again? Is it going to work this time? Or are we going to just pretend that it doesn't? It says no signal. It says no signal, but it should have a freaking signal, man. All right. I think this will... There it is. It's working. It's working. Must have been something weird. I don't know. But yeah, okay, so we fixed the Xbox 360, and that wasn't really much. It wasn't too difficult either. Yeah, so the only thing I have to do at this point is we got to tape down the buck converter, and then we got to RGH this thing, and then make sure that we can fix the disk drive and try to get that working. I feel like once we get that working, then I can finally like feel like, all right, I accomplished something. I can move on, because if it's not entirely fixed and it goes on my shelf, it's gonna make me not sleep at night. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not true. I do sleep, just not very. No, I'm joking. No, the 360. I have. Let me think. I think I have like 5 or 6, maybe 4 or 5 or 6, and 2 or 3 of them don't work completely. The other ones do, and I have those set up as RGH. And like, it's, you know, I don't play on them like super often, but like when I play, you know. It just depends on how I feel. You know, I might not be feeling a 360 from one day to the next. I might be feeling the PS3. I might be feeling you know, the Vita. I might be feeling the 3DS, you know. So I try to be flexible. All right, now let me ask you guys a question, because I gotta know. I have you all here. It's like, all right, you guys have gathered. Now I am standing on my soapbox, so I can tell you. Are you guys excited for episode 3 of the photo frame? I just want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Are you excited? Or are you like, I don't really care about the photo frame. Kind of want to see that 1 terabyte flash drive you've been talking about for freaking 500 years and haven't done. Oh my gosh, dude. The photo frame, the Sony photo frame. You know, the one that we're going to try to get our own code on running on. That one. Okay. We got mixed results here. Mostly yes, but mixed results. All right. So the options are, we've got you know, because I was just curious. Actually, we don't have options. We are still doing the photo frame. I feel dumb. It has nothing to do with it. I was just curious. Are you guys still interested in the 1 terabyte flash drive? Because it has been, dude. I can't give too much information about it because it's like the video has to come out, right? So I can't. You know, that's actually a video I'm focusing on this week, and then we're gonna be focusing on part 3 again for the photo frame. That's kind of where we're at right now. Oh, and another turn of events. I'm gonna drop a bomb on you guys. Just you guys, okay? You and me. I closed down the shop. I closed down the business. We love spoilers. Yeah, I closed down the shop, the brick and mortar public location, because I am going to transition to doing more of what you see right now. I want to try to get better at it. I want to do my best, and I want to come hang out. You know, I want to make fun videos and enjoy. I just want to enjoy life, man. You know, when you do the repair shop thing, and I don't look at myself like a failure or anything like that, because the shop did good for when the shop did good, but you know, when it came down to it, it didn't make sense to keep it going, especially when YouTube was doing better than the shop was. And then the hassle that came along with it was just it didn't make sense. Too much time, not enough duckies, doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's fun. Michigan, located in Michigan. But what's important is this. You know, because I don't look at myself like a repair channel at most much anymore, but more like a project thing. Like, what can we do? You know, what's possible? Can we test the limits? And that sometimes involves fixing things, but sometimes it involves modifying things and changing things and being creative, you know? And that's kind of the thing that I've always been really interested in. I like to, you know, have you guys ever heard of like a sleeper vehicle? You know, a vehicle goes really fast, a car that, or a truck that people modify, and it looks original, but it's actually completely modified. That's the type of stuff that I like. But sometimes I like overly done crazy modifications. I think things like that's cool too. But yeah, I guess that's kind of a sneak peek of what's coming really soon. So yeah, I made the transition slowly but surely. So it's a little bit slow right now because we're still moving. Build a nuclear warhead or a power plant, and we will call it. I'm missing it. I don't see what it says. But yeah, anyway, so I'm in the middle of transitioning from the shop to home. To, you know, I obviously have the YouTube setup. It's been set up forever, but we are slowly transitioning away. So I still have a ton of stuff at the shop that I got to bring home and store it away. We call it a power plant, not what it is. Oh, okay. But yeah, so I'm really excited. You know, YouTube has been, you know, we've been growing considerably, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I'm sorry, Little. Yeah, we fixed the 360. Just, I mean, you can go back and watch the stream later because I'm not going to delete it. But just if you want the spoiler, I'll give you the spoiler. 3.3 volt rail was dead. That's it. You're welcome. We fixed it. But yeah, anyway, so the goal is to transition to doing videos more and being an entertainer. You know what's interesting is I've been making videos since 2009, since I was 13. Absolutely crazy. Well, in fact, I was making videos even before then. We had a VHS camcorder that I was making videos on even before that time. And so, you know, video has always been a passion for me. But of course, electronics is also my passion. I mean, small engines are my passion, but I mean, you guys probably didn't know that, but now you do. But what's important here is I've got some interesting ideas, and I want to bring them to life because you know, you have an idea and you want to follow it and you want to see what's possible. And I want to have the avenue to be able to do that. So that's what's interesting. And electronics in themselves, like you can make them misbehave in ways that you wouldn't expect. And it's really interesting, especially with the Raspberry Pi Pico and the mod chips, things that you can do with that. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah. Anyways, that just about sums it up. So anyways, the photo frame is in the works for part 3, obviously, right? But in the meantime, I got to do something else. You know, I gotta switch it up from time to time. I got to resurrect some more game consoles or do this or that. Thanks, JFix. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, now I'm really excited. You know, we got a lot of changes happening, and think I'm making the right call. Either way, it's like, to be honest, you know, I never looked at YouTube as being a full-time thing for myself personally. You know, I have a job on the side right now, and, you know, I do that half the week and I do this half week, you know. But at the same time, you know, I look at this as a creative spot for myself. I got to get my creative juices out somehow, you know, my creative juices to flow, because I feel like I would go crazy if I didn't. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity. Even, I mean, realistically, if I had nobody watching, I'd probably still do it. And I did. I did do that forever, dude. I would be like, I'm going to post a video and just get no views, and just because I want it out there. Maybe I want to watch it later. I don't know, you know, that sort of thing. But no, I'm really excited. So I also, yeah, no, I appreciate every one of you, man. Like, Dave, you're awesome. Rusty Russ, come on, Rusty Russ, dude. It's really interesting because, like, whenever I do live stream, you know, because I don't do it often, right? And the live streams have been growing like considerably. I haven't been doing very many of them, but like starting off, man, dude, when I first started doing live streams, it was like freaking. I did like, let me think. You know, 3 to 4 people, and we'd be chilling, you know. That's fine, you know, that's cool. Hey, dude, some people stream to nobody, and that's totally, you know, I get it. But yeah, I mean, gosh, you know, I'm grateful for you guys. Yeah, no, dude, I'm really excited. It's a lot, you know, it's different. But you know, I think what's really important is that I got to get the creative juices flowing with these ideas, because I can't tell you. Well, I'll tell you this, and then I'll let you guys go. I'll say this: when I was younger, I was really into the game console modding scene, and that's how I got started. I got started in the game console modding scene. Well, I'll tell you this. 2012, well, actually, we'll go back to 2010. I heard the term jailbreaking. I had an iPod Touch 2nd Gen. And, yeah, community's growing, more amazing people starting to stream. Hey, dude, it's our pleasure, man. I am so grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful you guys are here to watch and enjoy. Because, dude, if I didn't have this, dude, I would be doing the same thing except without a camera. So it wouldn't, like, you know, just because I'm just so glad that I set everything up, we got here and we kept grinding, we kept doing the thing, and now we're here together. And it's just great. I'm really happy. But to finish the story is this. 2010 iPod, heard the term jailbreaking. I was probably like 14, 15. And so I downloaded the jailbreak tool, which was Green Poison, 4.2.1, iOS 4.2.1. I jailbroke my iPod, and I saw the verbose boot where you see the text going on the screen, and I thought I broke my iPod, even though it's a jailbreak had finished. And then in my iPod booted back up, and then I seen something called Install Us, and in that you had Cydia, and you installed Cydia, and then you could install packages and tweaks on your iPod. And that's what got me into the whole jailbreaking thing. And then I got a 4th gen iPod, same thing. And then I got an iPhone 4. And that year in 2012, when I got an iPhone 4, I was really into the jailbreak scene. The current iOS was 5.0.1, and the jailbreak was the Corona Untether. Dude, Those were the days, man. Those were the days. Anyways, so I had that whole thing going, and parents had got me a PS3 in Christmas of 2011. It was a 3000 model. Pretty thing that bricked my kids' iPods. Cydia did. Yeah, right. Cydia bricked my iPod more than not, and I would have to restore, and I didn't have my SH blobs saved. But I learned that on the iPhone 4. When I had my black iPhone 4, dude, I saved my SH blobs, man. Like, that way I could create a custom IPSW and I could restore, back to the firmware that I was on. Dude, those were the days, man. Why can't we do that anymore? Come on. Anyway, a game I was playing my favorite game all the time, Call of Duty World at War. Got into a modded lobby, and it changed my life forever. And I said, I want a jailbroken PS3. And I got the jailbroken... Well, it's not that fast. I had a 3000 model, which you couldn't jailbreak at the time. There was no custom firmware for those. There was no jailbreaks available. There was nothing. The only thing that you could do is if you had a PS3 on 3.55, or if you had an E3 flasher or a Teensy or a Progskeet or anything like that, then you could use those tools to downgrade the console back to 3.55 so you can install custom firmware. Well, for me, the first PS3 I got that I thought I could jailbreak was an A01, which is a backwards compatible. I traded my 3000 for it, and the HDMI port was destroyed on it. And so I had bought some Yellow Light of Death PS3s, hoping that they would be on 3.55, and they were not, that I know of, because I couldn't fix them. And what ended up happening is I had this idea about using a heat gun in the garage to remove the HDMI port from the bad board but good port, and then to my good working board bad port. And so I did it, and that was the first repair, and the addiction started ever since, and it never ended, and now here we are. That was 2013. May of 2013, I bought an E3 flasher and a 2501A PS3, downgraded it for the first time, and experienced the loveliness of custom firmware. And that would made me the happiest 16-year-old kid on the face of the planet. I was very happy. And then that's what actually started my business of downgrading people's PS3s, or getting into the PS3 scene and buying a PS3 broken, fix the disk drive, replace the laser, downgrade it, resell it, And then the Xbox 360 in 2015, I got into the, buying the Cool Runner clones and Ace V3s, the glitch chips, installing those, doing RGH2, RGH 1.2 on the FATs and things like that. And and then 2017, I realized that the PS4 HDMI epidemic was a problem, and so then I started fixing those. And then 2019, got my first microscope and flux, and and started to learn more and more and more, and here we are. That's how I got here. But this is the thing. This is the closure, right? I've always had ideas on making mods better, or perfecting things, or I've had ideas about how we could exploit the PS3 when I was younger, which I did try for sure. There's a couple videos online. I'm sure if you find me, you can probably find these other videos, but anyway. Fun fact, really quick, a friend of mine that actually helped find the vulnerability for the jailbreak for the 3000 like hen and the downgrade for the PS3. I was actually the one that taught him how to use an E3 flasher back 11 years ago. And we were just talking the other night, and he actually still has the E3 flasher that I taught him with, which is crazy. It's just a miracle. But yeah, he was one of the guys that found the vulnerabilities and helped develop the jailbreak for the PS3 nowadays, where it was like 2018, I think, when it was dropped. But yeah, no, it's just absolutely incredible journey. I'm so grateful and appreciative to be a part of it. Wait a minute. I just thought of one last thing. I'll be right back. Hang on. Wait, don't go nowhere. I'm going to show you guys something special. Then I'm going to go. All right. Do you see this? I made a poll on YouTube, and I asked if you guys wanted to see this. This is, remember how I said the 3000 model couldn't be hacked until like 2018? Well, this PS3 right here is a 3001B. Can't see it because I'm not going to zoom. Anyways, a 3001B. And this is the world's first 3000 that can downgrade. And is the world's first PS3 that has ever downgraded. Ever. Period. World's first. Right here. This is it. Now what makes this thing special, it has not been released yet, but I'm just showing it on stream. I'm not going to plug it in or show you anything else because it's unreleased right now. Still a work in progress. My stuff on the front of it is unique in its own way. It's my own stuff. This right here is an E3 flasher. I'm sure you guys know what an E3 flash. If you don't know what an E3 flasher is, this the PS3 BIOS chip is a 16 megabyte NOR flash, and this programmer can read and write to it. So this is hardwired in. This right here is an SD card reader that I pulled from a laptop because my micro SD card slot broke on the flasher, and so I figured out the pinout for this random laptop SD card reader and just wired it up. Then on the bottom there is a little something there. Can't really talk about it. It's kind of low key. Anyways, this is the first PS3 that the first 3000 model that has ever downgraded on its own with this this new hack. Also, this new hack, I don't know how much I can talk about it. It's not very public. It's known. It's not very well known. Oh yeah, I can talk about this. Well, I can talk about the downgrade part because it can down. This is the world's first 3000 to ever downgrade. And then what is the other thing? Oh yeah, the 3000 can run Linux. Yeah, there you go. Now you know. So you can't do with the 3000 Super Slim. You couldn't run Linux before. Now you can, but it's not public yet. So technically, you still can't. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is probably going to sit on the shelf for a long time. I don't know. Maybe I'll set it off one day. But this is I'll probably keep it in my collection forever. To be honest, this is a work of art, man. This thing's freaking sweet. So yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. This is a bad WDSD. So if you guys ever want to look into what that is, it's bad WDSD. There's a lot of information online. But yeah, anyways, I'll leave you with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me. We've been live for an hour and a half, and I have been nothing but satisfied with our time. I have really enjoyed myself. When you leave through the curtains again, back out. Oh my god, dude. Well, see, that's what my problem is. I can do that for you, but my problem is I can't hit end on the stream. Oh, wait a minute. I could hit end because I have a wireless keyboard. All right, we're doing it. All right, I hope you guys have an awesome day. If you guys want to see me back out slowly, hang out. We'll go live at some point. I have to figure out just really quick. Got to figure out a schedule because I'm not sure when I'm gonna go live and things like that. But yeah, absolute pleasure. And JFix, I'll see you on that Discord. You probably won't see me super often, but I'll try to pop in every now and again because life is crazy, right? All right, got to do the Homer meme. Wait, oh, you can't see. Oh, hang on. All right, there we go.